Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Real Takes. My name is Riley Granson.
My name's Max Medlin.
And this is a podcast for all of you average casual film fans out there. Max and I are, I guess, we're a little bit more than casual fans, I guess, but we come at it from a fan perspective, is what we're
not like those weird like Star Wars fanboys that are just like telling all the actors to kill themselves and stuff. Yeah. We're not that into it.
No, we're in fact, I feel like the both of us are kind of like a little bit cold on the heat meter when it comes to Star Wars. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy.
Well, I mean, can we just take a second? Like, all these fans are just like, oh, this George Lucas ruined Star Wars. Like, first of all, get it. Prequels suck. Totally understand it. But George Lucas is Star Wars. Like, it's literally his thing. He came up with everything, him and Kasdan. He can do whatever he wants with Star Wars. It's his universe, not yours. We don't need this, like, erotic Jar Jar fan fiction, I assume exists somewhere on 4chan.
We don't need, like, the, like, that's how 50 Shades of Grey came about. Like, that fucking, was it Twilight fan fiction or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was Twilight fan fiction.
What is going to be the 50 Shades of Grey of Star Wars fan fiction?
Oh, I'm sure if you search the internet hard enough, there probably already is a bunch of it.
I'm sure there is.
Like Qui-Gon Jinn and Anakin's mother or something. Tatooine or something.
Anyway, I do have something I want to bring up, but we've talked about this before. But I see it every single day when I'm at work, and it drives me absolutely bananas.
Stupid people.
So you're not a coffee drinker.
No.
I have brought this up several times in conversations with you and with other people. Do people? I want to know this. Like, do people know they don't have to drink coffee? Do people know there are other options for caffeine? And I'll tell you why I say this. Every single day, there are like 2 or 3 people, the same people that I see in the break room when I'm doing my coffee in the morning. I drink coffee black, the way it's supposed to be drank,
like a man.
Like a man. I'm okay if you put like a little cream in there, right? Like that's not the end of the world. This dude, right. This one dude in particular, does like a 4-second pour worth of creamer and then sugar in there. It's like, dude, just
why not just get like an iced coffee that tastes good?
You're just making the point of coffee pointless. Why don't you just take a caffeine pill at that point? Like, what are you doing?
At that point, you're not drinking coffee. You're getting a sugar high, not the caffeine high.
How with the amount of sugar they put in, you might as well just drink like a fucking Red Bull. It probably has just as much sugar as this dude is putting in his coffee every single morning.
They make sugar-free Red Bulls.
Exactly. What are you doing?
Vodka in there, you're having a nice night.
I personally do like the taste of coffee. Some coffee, like I'm not like a coffee connoisseur. I know there's like these people who are like. I used to work at a place where they had this kind of hipster coffee in the break room, and I was just like, this stuff is not that good. And maybe
I think to me, coffee's like like Busch Light. Like, yeah, I'll drink it if I have to, but I'm not like, oh, let me go get a Busch Light. It tastes so good. Like,
when have you ever had a cup of coffee?
I drank some coffee this winter. Everybody I work with drinks coffee.
Yeah.
So sometimes, but I prefer, like, we have this energy drinks out here called Zions, no sugar, no no calories. So I'll drink that sometimes. Yeah. But coffee just tastes so bad to me anyway.
See, I like it. I like the taste of coffee, and I drink like 2 cups. Like, I drink 2 cups every day. 3 if I really need to get going.
Yeah, but see, then people just get like I just power through my day. Like, I work nights, so obviously I get tired, but like I just power through it. Otherwise you get hooked on this caffeine and.
Well, that's the thing though. Like I'm not.
I need caffeine to function.
Well, that's the thing though. Is like I'm not addicted to it. Like I could go. Like I don't drink it on the weekends. Like I drink it.
I could quit it
anytime.
I could quit it anytime. I'm not addicted.
I could drink it anytime. I could drink it. I drink it Monday through Thursday because my work schedule is Monday through Thursday, and that's when I drink it. I don't usually drink it on the weekends unless I got to get up early and do something. I don't drink it on the weekends.
You know what that reminds me of? Some dude was like, man, I really lost a lot of weight once I cut back my drinking to Thursday through Sunday.
I feel like we've
opposed to what?
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Probably.
Yeah. It just, dude, it's just been one of those weeks where like everything people do just like drives me insane. Like I hate when people talk about like their dating life at work. I mean, nobody talks to me about it. Like I don't Like nobody really just like comes up to me and is like, "Hey, this, blah blah blah."
Went on this date, Riley. What'd you think?
Well, this like don't talk about that kind of shit at work. Like talk about that with your buddies. Like I don't want to hear you talking to people about like, yeah, I saw this girl and then like blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Stop talking about it.
Oh, sounds like you just lost your chance making some friends.
That's okay.
I feel like I sort of got. There's been like 3 or 4 times this week. I'm just like, am I fucking taking crazy pills or what's going on here? Like, I can't really explain the dumb things that have happened because it's railroad stuff and I'm gonna go over everybody's heads. But it's just been like stupid things.
Yeah.
Poor.
How about another beverage related topic? This is gonna be real beverage takes. What's your heat meter? I'm so tired of hearing about LaCroix. Every goddamn person is just LaCroix, LaCroix. I listen to these podcasts, and they're just like, LaCroix is great, LaCroix. I'm like, what? It's water. Just drink water.
I will say, I will drink LaCroix sometimes because when you drink LaCroix, it helps fill you up. So if you get like a light meal, you feel a lot fuller because of the carbonation and stuff. I don't mind the taste. To me, it's like drinking a light beer.
I can't do the flavored water thing. But like people are just obsessed. LaCroix is one of these.
I'm picky with my flavors though. Like I drink like lemon and like that's it. I'm not drinking like these pomegranate mango set next to bananas on a truck type flavors.
Marissa's got like eight packs of LaCroix around this house. And I've tried random ones and they're just I don't get it, man. I'm drinking this Bai stuff right now. I don't know what it is. It's pretty good. It's kind of like better vitamin water.
Well, they've got, I've been drinking recently, because I really like Arnold Palmer's. They've got this Teavana, and there's like a ton of different tea companies. They have all these different types of teas.
Yeah.
Like infused with stuff. And that's actually not too bad. They still put a lot of sugar in it, but it's actually not terrible. I will say that the new Coke Zero they've got with the no sugar is not terrible.
You know, it's funny because like I tried Diet Coke for like the first time, like 2 years ago. And I was surprised at how much it tasted just like regular Coke.
I don't like Diet. I think Diet stuff tastes like shit.
I'm still gonna drink Diet Coke. Like I'm gonna drink Coke.
Yeah, but the Coke Zero's not terrible though. If you're looking to stay a little healthy, it's got more flavor than the old stuff.
Well, like this Bai stuff has like 2 grams of sugar in a container. So it's like
is that the like heart? Is that like the heart shaped stuff?
Well, it's this bottle. So it's like it's antioxidant. This is a pomegranate one. I don't know if you can see that, but like
yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. It's like that Justin Timberlake commercial or whatever. With
also how big a balls does Kobe Bryant have to just like make this sports drink and then just like take on Gatorade? Yeah. Like, no way, dude. Like his ad was literally just like, Gatorade got you here. We'll take it from here. Yeah, it's called like strength water. I honestly don't even know what it's called. But
do you know
it's called Body Armor, I think.
Oh, Body Armor. That's Kobe Bryant's thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it everywhere. Like, I've never tried it.
Gatorade got you here. We'll take it from here. I'm like, no. That's not how this works. That's not any of this works.
You know what they sell at the Quick Trips here in Duluth? I don't know. I don't know.
Peanut butter chocolate milk?
Caffeinated water. What are you...
Who the fuck needs caffeinated water?
What are you doing? Why are you... Caffeinated water? What are you doing? That's even worse than putting sugar in your coffee.
First of all, how do you caffeinate water?
I don't know.
Second of all, why would you caffeinate water?
Ask John, because I know I've seen a bottle of it in his... Our buddy John. I've seen a bottle of caffeinated water. It's called Water Joe.
Water Joe?
Called Water Joe or Joe Water or something like that. It's awful.
It's like people that drink that like the Voss water. Yeah. Like newsflash, people, it's all come out of the same fucking tap.
Right. That's what I try to tell Marissa. That she's
it's like buying expensive pairs of glasses. It's all coming from the same place.
Marissa's adamant that Aquafina tastes better than Dasani, and I said it's water.
I will say Dasani tastes better than Aquafina.
How? It's water. How can it taste better than...
I think it's the packaging.
No. Maybe.
Because like less plastic leaching in there and shit. I don't think Aquafina cares about its customers personally.
Yeah. Well,
they could be started on Fiji water.
Fiji water.
Fuck.
Well, that was a 10-minute discussion about beverages.
I'm
sure people are like, well, fuck this. We're not going to listen to this anymore.
Hey, maybe people want to know more about beverages. They're at the grocery store. A lot of selections out there. You never know.
Yeah.
We can give you the inside beverage take.
That's right.
I wouldn't mind a sponsorship deal from Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
I'll sell my soul for millions.
Or buy. Hit us up. I'll take some free buy. It's good stuff.
I'll ride on the back of that polar bear.
LaCroix,
whatever.
Leave us alone. I don't. I don't.
It's LaCroix.
LaCroix. Yeah, like
it's LaCroix.
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, we've been busy. We were gonna get to an episode last week, but we didn't.
We're busy.
Yeah, man. But I tell you what,
season.
I've been busy in a good way because I've gotten a chance to see a bunch of movies lately. Catch up on some things that I've missed this year, as well as kind of relaxing and try to do some get some classic films, some other films that I hadn't seen. In particular, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Well, you know what? Why don't we just let's just get into the new releases this week.
Get into it. Get into it. Tear it open, crank it up, and rip the knob off.
Turn it up to 11. Yeah.
Dingo and the baby.
So there's going to be a lot of Family Guy references on this podcast. Just so everybody knows that. Hope you're down for that. But anyway, so let's get into some of the stuff that's coming out this weekend. So one of the things you have opening this weekend is, well, it opened last weekend. I believe it was in a very, very limited release in 9 theaters. The new John Cho movie, Searching, which has excellent reviews right now. And it's something I'm looking forward to seeing. And basically it follows John Cho searching for his daughter, but the whole thing kind of takes place in the screen of a computer. Now, they did this in what was it, Unfriended or whatever that movie was back in, which I actually didn't mind. I did watch it.
I thought that movie was very disrespectful to that type, to people that kill themselves with cyberbullying and shit. I just did not like the premise of that movie.
Yeah, that's kind of like the issue with that Slender Man thing that's out there right now. I think a lot.
Yeah.
Unfriended it's enjoyable. I had an okay time with that film. But Searching opens this week. It's got great reviews. It premiered at Sundance. Max, are you looking forward to seeing Searching?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a fun film.
Yeah. So hopefully it's opening somewhere near you guys. It's expanding to 1,100 more theaters. I don't know if it's expanding to more after that.
You'd hope so.
Well, I would imagine. What is it? 9 plus? That's only 1,200 theaters. It's only playing in one theater here.
That's not surprising, though.
Right. And then otherwise opening this weekend, we'll get to the one that opened today because I did get a chance to see it today. But the other film opening wide this weekend, I'm sorry, I had it up and I just lost it.
It's Operation Finale, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Or that opens today.
That opens today, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I like I said, that's the one I did get a chance to go see. Man, there was one other
did you
film.
See that? I thought you saw Mile 22.
Kin opens this weekend. That James Franco sci-fi thing. Whatever. I'll probably go see it, but
it's Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, I'm not gonna run out. The trailers are dumb. Whatever. The trailers are boring. But we can talk a little bit about Operation Finale. And this film is directed by Chris Weitz. And when I found that out, I thought, wait a minute, because that name sounded familiar. And it turns out that this guy wrote some of the American Pie movies, and he directed movies like The Golden Compass and About a Boy. And I thought, he's taking on this or whatever. And I remember hearing about this earlier this year, that it was coming out this year, and then the trailer for this movie dropped. And I don't know if you saw the trailer, the first trailer. I was hooked. The trailer for this movie
it looked awesome. I agree.
Great. And if you want to know, we're not going to talk too much detail about it here. We've got some other things we want to get to today, but. If you want to hear more about this movie, I posted, along with a review for the Happy Time Murders, I posted a little audio review, a little 6-7 minute audio review of the film. We also have, I also posted a written review on our website, which is realtakes.com. But what I'll say about Operation Finale is this. It's a really interesting story with good performances. You know you're going to get that from Oscar Isaac and Ben Kingsley. They're two greats. Obviously, Kingsley's been doing it for decades, and Oscar Isaac's been doing it more recently with stuff like Inside Llewyn Davis, which is one of the best films of this decade,
Great film.
in my opinion, and probably I would say probably his best performance on screen. But he's
I'd say that.
Yeah, but he's popped up in Star Wars. Obviously, he's great in those, and I've never seen a performance where I thought Oscar Isaac was really kind of mailing it in or anything like that. But this movie, just to give you a quick synopsis of it, is about Ben Kingsley plays Adolf Eichmann, who was, of course, the Nazi officer who orchestrated the Holocaust, which apparently is also known as the Final Solution. That I didn't know.
Did you just say apparently?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that was called the Final Solution?
I did not. I was not up on my. I like history. I didn't know that it was.
I suppose I'm more of a World War II guy than you are.
Well, I mean, I used to be more into history. I used to read a lot more about stuff like that, but that's gone by the wayside. But anyway, so Adolf Eichmann and they have intelligence that Eichmann is hiding out in Argentina, there was a haven for a lot of Nazi sympathizers in the years following World War II.
A lot of the Nazi officers fled there, yeah.
Yep. And to some degree, sympathizers too, and that's touched on a little bit in this film. But then Oscar Isaac plays a Mossad agent in Israel, a secret agent who is tasked with basically they put a crew together after finding out that Eichmann is here, and they go get him. So this movie has really high stakes, and it treats those high stakes very nicely, I guess I should say. It's treated with a lot of nuance, which I appreciated about this movie. And the long and the short of it is it has great performances. It's shot really well. It's crafted really great. The script is fantastic. Matthew Orton wrote the script, and it is an absolutely terrific script. It's his first script. This is his only credit on. Well, he has one more credit of an upcoming movie, The Battle of Britain or whatever it is. But you can tell this guy. You can tell this guy knows a lot about this and cares about it. The one problem, which I think is not a fatal flaw, but a massive flaw in this film, it's so slow, dude. It is paced so badly. This is a 2-hour movie that should be about 90 minutes.
I think that's what you see a lot of movies like that get caught up in is they're very slow.
Yeah.
Like, what was that movie with Eddie Redmayne, The Theory of Everything?
Yeah, which is an okay movie. And that movie, I think
it is, but movies like that, a lot of times they move so slowly, and I get you're telling a story and it's not always action-packed, but like you said, a lot of times that pacing just slows everything down. And for me, that's a lot of times when I lose interest, because if it's just slow and I just can't get into it, it's just really hard for me.
Well, there's a couple of nice. There's a couple of tense scenes in this film. The end of the film. I'm obviously not going to spoil it. It just came out today, but it's very Argo-like. It has a very Argo-esque scene at the very end of the film, as well as there's some other thrilling stuff in the movie, and the stuff with Ben Kingsley and Oscar Isaac is great. But ultimately, there's two long portions of this movie that just are slow, and it's not unwatchable. In fact, in the review I posted for the podcast feed and up on YouTube, on our scale of see it, rent it, skip it, I said rent it. Or go see it on a discount day. Like we have Tuesdays here are $5. Go see it then.
Right.
Because it is an interesting story, and I think it is one worth seeing. It's not like awful. I feel like it's making it sound like it's awful. It's really not. It's really a really solid film. But it's just so slow. It just drags, and I don't. That's really all. I mean, that's really the only critique of it that I have. Other than that, it's fine. There's a romance.
Just watch it. Just watch it. Fast forward.
there's a romance in there that kind of gets thrown in with Oscar Isaac and Melanie Laurent, and the romance, the stuff between them is fine, but the resolutions that they come to on some of their conflicts, it just doesn't feel earned. And overall, it's a good movie. I would say go see it if you like these actors that are involved. And Nick Kroll is in this movie, and he's actually pretty good in it. Not
good to see him get some more serious roles.
Yeah, I like it when comedians kind of branch out and do that kind of stuff.
Unusual for him.
But that's it, man, as far as new releases this week. So you had, we're not going to talk about the Happy Time Murders, even though I did review it and I did see it. We're not going to talk about that. It's fine, but you can go check out our review
Fine.
on the website as well as...
Melissa McCarthy strikes again.
I tell you what, though, this movie... I feel bad.
She's trying.
The failures of the Happy Time murders is not her. But we
You mean a Muppet jizzing all over a thing could not hold the movie up?
The problem with the movie is that none of the jokes are funny.
Generally for comedies, that's a kiss of death.
That's a
if
problem.
It's not funny. You need a comedy to be funny.
That's right.
That's why nothing that Amy Schumer in is good because it's just not funny.
Ugh. I like Trainwreck. Trainwreck is funny.
I don't like Jane Fonda or whoever that was.
Well, that was Snatched. You're thinking of Snatched.
Snatch? Is that a porno?
Snatched with an E.
Oh, Snatched. Okay.
I would imagine Snatch. Yeah, there's probably a porno named Snatch. There's also a movie named Snatch with Brad Pitt.
There is, yes.
But yeah, so Operation Finale opens today. You guys can go see that, and then Kin and Searching expanding nationwide later this weekend. That's all I've got for new releases. Anything you wanted to bring up on that end? Stuff you're thinking of going to see?
Just real quick, what'd you think of Billionaire Boys Club?
Okay, so let's get into this. I've seen a lot of movies lately. We're not going to talk about every single one because, again, I'd rather spend time on some of the other things we want to talk about. I'll just run down some of the things I've seen lately, and then if there's anything you've seen that you wanted to talk about, I know you've been busy, but we can certainly talk about that. I'll just run down. Yeah, Billionaire Boys Club is fine. It's obviously didn't get a theatrical release because of the controversies that have been surrounding Kevin Spacey for the better half of this past year or so. It's really, and Kevin Spacey is good in it. He's a good actor. He's a shitty person. Yeah. It's the other supporting cast that don't really do anything for me, like Ansel Elgort and Taron Egerton, who I both like. I like them both very much. But the movie is like a cheap Wolf of Wall Street. It's an interesting story. It's a true story. It's an interesting story. It's just not. It's very melodramatic, and I just wasn't a big fan of it.
Just not good.
No, it's
right on.
It ain't worth your time. Marissa and I just rented it because I actually was interested, like legitimately interested in it. Other things I've seen lately. Again, won't touch on this one much. I did finally get a chance to see BlacKkKlansman, which is absolutely fantastic. Everybody needs to go see this film. It's fantastic. I won't say anything more about that out of risk of, because it's a movie that, like, if I spoiled it, you wouldn't be like upset, but the less you know about it, the better, because you can go into this film with a fresh eye. And the one thing I will say is the ending of this film is a gut punch, an absolute gut punch, and I appreciated that the most about the movie. What else have I seen lately? I've been trying to catch up on a lot of things. I saw Mile 22, like Max mentioned. Holy shit, that movie's a fucking disaster.
I started Silence.
Oh, the Scorsese movie.
Yeah, and then I realized it was 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and I did not have enough time to finish it. But I'm looking forward to finishing it. I watched like the first 20 minutes, and it was pretty visually stunning.
It's great
in the first 20 minutes, so I'm excited to finish that. That's Martin Scorsese's pet project. If you're trying to get made for 20 years, so
yeah,
excited to finish that.
Yeah, man, they were trying to make that before The Wolf of Wall Street, and then he couldn't get it made, and DiCaprio came to him with The Wolf of Wall Street, and he said, well, fuck it, let's do this, and then we'll do Silence after, which is pretty much what he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Billionaire Boys Club, BlacKkKlansman, Mile 22. The first 15 minutes of Mile 22 are awesome, because it's that Peter Berg, great action, they're badass, they're in there, and then the rest of the movie, dude,
just garbage.
I want to watch it again and count how many times the camera cuts. It literally is just like, there's a cut here, cut to that, cut to this. The screen is constantly cutting, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like 90% of this movie, and Wahlberg is just a douche. Like, it's probably his douchiest character in a movie. But like, it's like, you'd have to, like, I'd almost kind of want you to watch it because it's just so fucking weird. Like, I don't know how like anybody like watched the final cut of this film and was like, yeah, that's good. There's got to be 500 cuts. It's the worst edited movie I've seen in a long time.
Phantom Menace and say it's good?
I don't know. This is on par with Phantom Menace. It's a bad movie. It's honestly, in my opinion, I think it's probably the worst of the year.
Well, whenever you're ready, we can go to upcoming in December, like we promised to talk about. Because I've got one that has just recently come on my radar that I'm actually pretty excited to.
Go ahead.
To watch Mary Queen of Scots.
Yep.
And I'm excited for that movie because it has the incredibly talented Margot Robbie in it. And it's a really interesting story about, obviously, Mary, the Queen of Scots, Mary Stuart. She was a queen at 16 and widowed by 18. And she returned to Scotland to get the throne, and then Elizabeth comes into power. And it's this whole big story. It's a very famous story between Scotland and England. And Margot Robbie is obviously fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this movie. Margot Robbie. I do not know who Saoirse Ronan is.
Saoirse Ronan.
Who decided to spell it that way?
She's Irish.
Saoirse. All right, well that's good. I do like that they're using an Irish actress, but yeah, so it looks very interesting.
Saoirse Ronan was in Lady Bird last year. Academy Award nominated for that. She was in Brooklyn a couple years ago, which is an absolutely fantastic film. If you haven't seen Brooklyn, Brooklyn's great. And she was in that, what was that movie with Mark Wahlberg? The Lovely Bones. She was in The Lovely Bones.
Oh, yes. Yep, very good book.
Yeah, man, I don't know much about Mary Queen of Scots. I see it as a limited release on that first weekend.
It's nationwide on the 7th.
Okay,
that's what I'm showing.
Maybe, well,
but yeah, it's something that not a lot of people know about, but it's a pretty well known story, and another thing that's really in their favor is the writer is Beau Willimon.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but very talented screenwriter. He previously wrote The Ides of March, which is a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it.
Really underrated movie.
And honestly, I'm drawing a blank at his other stuff.
House of Cards.
He's done. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. House of Cards. Yes, he's a very talented writer, screenwriter. So they've definitely got a lot of talent there. I'm not super familiar with the director Josie Rourke.
Let's get back to December 7th. The only other thing I see is that I'm interested in is Under the Silver Lake. I'm interested about this movie. This is a limited release. There's a lot of There's a lot of talent involved in this. Riley Keough, who is great in like everything that she does. Andrew Garfield is in this movie. Topher Grace. So I don't know what it's about, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's an A24 film. And
A24 is very good.
They've just been killing it lately. Otherwise, The Silence is a film being distributed by Global Road. I don't know anything about that.
Stanley Tucci is in that.
The only other thing of note here is something called Ben is Back from Roadside Attraction. The only reason I highlighted that is because Roadside is a fairly major distributor. But Julia Roberts and Lucas Hedges are in this.
I think it's going to be a typical Julia Roberts, my family sucks and we come back together. And I think it's going to be a classic Julia Roberts movie.
It's directed by Peter Hedges.
He's also the screenwriter.
So, Lucas Hedges is going to have a big year. He's got Boy Erased and this, and I think he's got one other thing that I'm not thinking of right now. But let's move on to then December 14th, where we have some more. Now we're getting to some of the bigger December releases. You have Mortal Engines, which no thanks, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is something I'm probably not going to go see in theaters, but I'm curious about it. The animation looks cool. The trailers have been kind of interesting. I think it's using the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man, which I like. It's too much Peter Parker sometimes, and then I like that like Spider-Gwen is in this, and like there's a lot of really cool things I think they're doing with this Into the Spider-Verse movie. So I'm excited to see it. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to go out to the theater and see it, and it's certainly not going to go see Mortal Engines. I don't even know what. I don't even know what is that. I don't even know what it is. It's got a stupid poster.
It's probably like some animated movie. I'm most excited for something you kind of brought up earlier, but Backseat.
Yes, this movie.
I
cannot wait to see this film.
I'm very curious with the casting though, because like Tyler Perry as Colin Powell, that's great. Bill Pullman as Nelson Rockefeller, great. But
yeah,
I'm really questioning Christian Bale as Dick Cheney and Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush.
Dude, have you seen the pictures of
I have not. I have not seen any pictures or trailers of them.
Look up the pictures. There is no trailer, but look up the pictures of Christian Bale as Dick Cheney.
Does he actually? But Dick Cheney's like an ugly fat motherfucker.
It's great. He gained a ton of weight for this role, and the pictures are fantastic. And really? Adam McKay showed me what. And I've watched The Big Short like 3 or 4 times, dude. I like that movie more every time I watch it.
I love The Big Short.
So great. The Big Short is great. So yeah, man, it's Annapurna Pictures, who used to be kind of a financier. Now they're distributing movies. They've got a big winter coming up here, so maybe they'll be able to sneak in and kind of establish themselves as a big time studio. But yeah, man, Backseat, it looks fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Sam Rockwell, man, if you've seen 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, he could pull off that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, Christian Bale looks just like him.
He does. And
oh my God, dude, he gained so much weight.
Yeah, he's the man. I love Christian Bale. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah, that is fantastic. Now I'm really excited.
So that opens in limited release on December 14th. I'm sure it will trickle out as the month goes on. Otherwise, I'm hoping some of these indies kind of expand into theaters that weekend because I give no shits about Mortal. The poster for this girl literally looks like a Mortal Kombat character.
I'm sure it's not going to be good.
Who made this movie? Christian Rip. Oh, it's written by Peter Jackson.
Same people that made Airplanes or whatever that movie was.
Stop doing things, Peter Jackson. Nothing he's done since Lord of the Rings has been good. King Kong.
Should just hang his hat on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's done. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Anyway, let's move on. So this is a change, I believe, because the last I had this on the 21st. Mary Poppins Returns comes out on Wednesday, May 19th. And I don't know if you guys have seen... Max, have you seen the original Mary Poppins?
I have a long time ago.
Yeah, this movie, it looks kind of good. I like Emily Blunt in this role. I think she's a great actress. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't really have much else to say about Mary Poppins.
I mean, it's Mary Poppins, you know.
Yeah, it'll be great, and Disney's gonna have a big winter here and into next year. We'll talk about that in a minute though, because there is something I wanted to bring up regarding Disney. Let's go to Friday the 21st, which is really the last weekend of the month.
Don't give a shit about Aquaman.
Really? I'm gonna go see it. I think it looks okay.
I don't think Jason Momoa is a good actor.
I tell you what, on this schedule, what do you think is the movie that I actually am most excited to see of these 5? So you have Alita Battle Angel, Aquaman, Bumblebee, Holmes and Watson, and Welcome to Marwen.
I would say yours is probably going to be Welcome to Marwen.
It is not. I have really liked the trailers and the marketing, and I like the story of Alita Battle Angel.
What the hell is that even about?
I am very excited. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie. It's produced by James Cameron, who
Christoph Waltz.
Atrocious. James Cameron's, except for Terminator 2 and Aliens, James Cameron has never made a good movie. But yeah, man, Alita Battle Angel is something I actually am very curious to see about. Yeah, Welcome to Marwen looks great.
It does have that does have an interesting premise.
I'm actually kind of curious about Holmes and Watson as well, because I like the idea of Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly getting back together.
Yep, again. I agree.
And they could be go either way. The one I could not give 2 shits about is Bumblebee.
Is that a Transformers movie?
Stop it with this shit. Yes, it's a Transformers. Stop it with these Transformers movies. I don't care. I like Haley Steinfeld. Why do we need this movie? The trailer looks the same. Everybody's like, oh, the trailer, this could be it. It's like everybody gets fooled by these Transformers movies. This could be the one that's good. And Travis, thank God Michael Bay's not directing it. So maybe it has a chance.
Kaboom! Explosions! Kaboom!
I hope I'm proven wrong by this, but I don't have high hopes for Bumblebee. So I just do not give a shit at all about any of these.
Hold on. I gotta interject here quick.
Sure.
On the right side of my screen, I'm seeing new movie release dates. And there's two of them that I'm very confused about.
Sure.
First one is Top Gun 2, Maverick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second one is A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
Why did A Quiet Place necessitate a sequel?
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie. Like, are they going to follow up where they kill the monsters or what?
I agree with you to some extent. I wish they wouldn't do this shit. I wish they wouldn't make sequels to movies that are already great. I like A Quiet Place 2 a lot.
Everybody keeps shutting the fuck up.
It's quieter now.
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I like the ending. I like the ending of The Quiet Place because it's implied that now they figured out the technology to solve their problem. You know?
So I can only hope that the sequel is just them just fucking murdering these things. There's just the whole 90 minutes of them just
and now the
killing
monsters
aliens.
have to be quiet now.
Right, exactly. And now it's the humans.
Did you hear something? Get the gun.
So yeah, man, Aquaman. I'm excited. I'm interested because I thought Justice League was okay. And Wonder Woman is good, and so I'm interested to see what they do with these solo movies. James Wan is someone I'm just not a huge fan of. I don't like The Conjuring. I don't like anything in that series. I don't like anything James Wan has done. So I'm skeptical about Aquaman. But and then real quick, the last thing that I have here to talk about, another Annapurna Pictures movie called Destroyer, which has an interesting cast: Nicole Kidman, Sebastian Stan, Toby Kebbell, Tatiana Maslany, Bradley Whitford, Scoot McNairy. It's directed by
That's
Karen
definitely not the movie
Kusama.
I'm looking forward to on Christmas.
Yeah, the other movie that's opening on Christmas is I wanted to say this one.
Okay, right,
this one
good.
kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's the Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic on the basis of Sin. Yeah, with Felicity Jones playing her. I thought the trailer was boring, to be honest with you, but I'm still interested in seeing
I like
the movie.
Felicity Jones. She's got some fire.
Yeah, that comes out Christmas Day, so look forward to that movie. I'm trying to see. There's no information yet. These expect, like I said this last week, but expect some of these movies to be jostled around. Because a lot of these movies are going to start, especially the indie ones, are going to start premiering at festivals, and you might see them move up, you might see them move down. You might get something like a release schedule like Spielberg's The Post did last year, where it opened in like New York and LA on Christmas Day, and then slowly expanded and went nationwide. I think in January. I saw it in January, so and if I would have seen it in December, I would have put it on my top 10 because I love that movie, but. Yeah, man. Anything else you wanted to bring up as far as that goes before we get into some of the things, other things I wanted to talk about before I let you go, since you've been making me wait for like a week and a half?
Sorry, I'm busy. No, those are kind of the movies I'm really excited for.
All right, man. I want to talk about this really quick. We didn't talk about this before, and take this as you will. This is just my personal opinion. So we haven't really talked much about this Fox and Disney thing, and I don't know how much you're aware of it, Max. But Fox and Disney, they're in the middle of this merger that's happening. It was approved by the Department of Justice, and now they're just waiting kind of on the specifics. They're expecting it to happen next year. People are, you can talk all you want about wanting the X-Men as part of the MCU and all these characters, and that's all people seem to care about. Let me hit you with some stats.
Let me fuck you up with some knowledge.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenny Powers. So Disney has made so far this year domestically at the box office. They've made
billions and billions and billions of dollars. What'd you say? 2 billion?
$2.5 billion domestically. And they're closing in on $5 billion worldwide. So you have movies like Avengers, Infinity War made,
which is almost
$2
like
billion.
cheating.
The fourth film to cross the $2 billion mark. You have all these great movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they had Incredibles 2, which was $1 billion movie. So all of these movies, and Han Solo, which struggled at the box office, but still is a $600 million movie. So like that's not a slouch. It wasn't. I'm sure it didn't make them any money for how much these movies cost, especially with all the reshoots they had to do on that movie. But anyway, so close to $5 billion worldwide, and you have still to come. You have The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, which is not going to light up the box office, I wouldn't assume, but it'll make some money. It's a Disney, it's a holiday thing.
People will go see it.
Yeah, for sure. And Wreck-It Ralph 2, the first one is beloved. That'll make money. And they still have Mary Poppins, which is going to be huge.
Right.
Mary Poppins is going to be a big movie. So they've got an opportunity to maybe break the box office record, which they own. They own the box office record. I don't know what it is. I don't have those figures in front of me right now. But for a studio in 1 year, Disney has the record. Right. This is where I get angry. Not angry because, and keep in mind, I love all of these movies. I am not opposed to going to see these movies, unlike somebody that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Let's just real quick. This is probably boring, but let me take it. Let's dive into their slate for 2019. Right.
Right.
You have 2, possibly 3 movies. More than likely 2 movies that are going to probably make $2 billion. One of those is Avengers 4. You have a Star Wars saga film coming out next year. And you have what I think people are sleeping on, The Lion King. The Lion King, this live action.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
If you want to call it live action, they have this Lion King thing. It's going to crush. It for sure is going to make $1 billion.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how much Beauty and the Beast made. Beauty and the Beast killed it.
How much did Jungle Book make?
Jungle Book, I think, was a lesser film, but Jungle Book is not as beloved a property as Beauty and the Beast or as Lion King or as Aladdin. So let's look at so they have Avengers 4.
Well, they've still got the other Jungle Book too, don't they?
That's not coming out for, you mean the sequel that they're doing?
No, the other Jungle Book with Andy Serkis.
That's not a Disney film.
How is it not Disney? They own the rights to Jungle Book.
No, they don't. They own the rights to the specific story that they told for Jungle Book.
Oh, really?
Mowgli is going to be an adaptation of a more truer, I believe, is what I read, a more truer adaptation of Rudyard Kipling's.
Right, okay. All right. I thought Disney had bought the rights to that. Okay.
No, they have the rights to the story they told.
Okay.
Because I believe that stuff is all,
yeah.
I don't think it's owned IP.
No, you're probably right.
Anyway, public domain or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So not only do they have Avengers 4, which we know is going to crush,
right,
because everybody loved Infinity War and they want to know what happens next. You have Star Wars Episode 9, which will be huge because JJ's back and all the little pissant fans are happy. I'm not going to get into that. And you have Lion King. So those are 3 huge movies, right?
Right.
Well, guess what else they have?
What?
Captain Marvel.
Yep. Which I don't think a lot of people are thinking about Captain Marvel.
No, it'll make $1 billion.
Don't sleep on Brie Larson.
Yeah, it's Marvel's first female-led superhero movie, so that has an effect. You know what else they have coming out, Max?
I don't.
You've got Frozen 2.
Yuck.
Toy Story 4.
Frozen 2, it's still really fucking cold.
Toy Story 4 and Aladdin.
Aladdin? Live action?
Yeah, a live-action Guy Ritchie remake of Aladdin.
Oh, God. Are you serious? All right, yeah, that's my most anticipated film of 2019. A Guy Ritchie Aladdin movie? So where do I sign up? I love Guy Ritchie.
Will Smith is playing the genie.
Oh, my God. I love Guy Ritchie.
So let's just recap this here real quick. You have Captain Marvel, Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, Star Wars, Avengers, Lion King, Aladdin. You have 8 films, or is that 7? Captain Marvel, Frozen 2, Toy Story, Star Wars, Avengers, Lion King, Aladdin. You have 7 movies there that will easily have a legitimate shot of making $1 billion worldwide.
We gotta quick get in with Disney before they give out their year-end bonuses next year.
Exactly. So here's my question. Why do they need the Fox properties? The only reason they want the Fox properties is because they want their Disney streaming service. This is not about money. This is not about box office revenue. That is clear. And if you think it's about, they'll make more money, they're fine. They have 7 movies coming out next year that could probably make $1 billion. And I think 4 or 5 of those are no doubt $1 billion movies. Fox, as a studio, this year has only cleared $500 million domestically. They have quadrupled the domestic box office of Fox, and now they own Fox, or will own Fox. This is to get rid of Netflix. This is a total entertainment industry domination. Because not only are you going to have a Disney streaming service, which Disney's properties are beloved, and they are for a reason.
Suicide to torpedo Netflix.
Why? They'll own 45 to 50% of the market.
Where do they think the market's going to go? The market ain't going back into TV.
The market is going into streaming now. Everything is streaming. So listen, they've got this Disney streaming service that's coming out later this year or early next year.
That no one's going to buy.
Bullshit. On this...
Why would you... What am I going to get Disney streaming for so I can watch fucking Snow White on demand?
Do you know how popular Disney movies are? People are going to flock to this thing.
Yeah, but not for $20 a month.
Not only that, this is going to be a home of... You're going to have all the Disney animated classics, which are beloved. And how many families have kids that want to watch their movies? You have Pixar. You have Marvel. You have Lucasfilm. Now you own Fox. So you own all of these things. And they've talked about this. They've talked about owning all these properties that are R-rated. They're not going to change them. They're just not going to market them with the Disney name, which is obviously what they were going to do anyway.
They don't have the TV clout, though.
But they have the money to make original. This original live-action Star Wars show is going to be on this Disney streaming service, the Favreau one. You have access now to all this IP that all you have to do is make these TV shows, and people will watch it. So this, to me, is an answer, and I think what they're trying to do, and I don't know that they'll kill Netflix. Netflix is huge.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that...
It's going to damage Netflix, though.
But that's stupid, though, because Netflix is not a competitor. Netflix is a vehicle that delivers them boatloads of cash.
No, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. No, because they won't have anything on Netflix.
But what I'm saying is
they're
Netflix
pulling all of their shit.
What I'm saying is right now they're not like going head-to-head with Netflix. They're like, hey, give us money and you can distribute this show on Netflix. It's not like they're competing with Netflix. Netflix doesn't just get the shows to distribute for free.
But are you not of the mind that streaming is going to be the future?
Oh, streaming's 100% the future, but I'm just saying.
Then why?
I don't know why they would want to kill Netflix.
I'm not saying they're trying to kill Netflix. I'm saying it's going to damage Netflix for sure. Because I bet the numbers aren't going to be high because people still love Netflix originals. But how many people are going to abandon Netflix and go to this thing where you can watch Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, Pixar,
I don't see it having.
Alien,
I don't see it having
Planet of the Apes.
I don't see it having as big
X-Men.
of an effect because Amazon Prime has already bit into Netflix business. Because with Amazon Prime, I get HBO, I can get a ton more movies, and Amazon has original content. So I think we've already seen the damage that can happen to Netflix, and Netflix knows their bread and butter is like the documentaries and the shows, and they were at the forefront of making their own shows. So yeah, Disney's probably going to take a bite out of it, but if they've weathered the storm from Amazon Prime, I don't know how much more Disney is going to bring to the table that Amazon Prime and Netflix don't.
Listen.
Yeah, they've got all their own stuff, but I tell you what, that's fine, but 90% of what people watch on Netflix is The Office. People are creatures of habit. They want to watch what's comfortable to them. I just don't see people shelling out extra money just on the premise that you can watch a couple extra movies.
It's not a couple extra movies, though. I don't think you're understanding that, when this streaming service... it's going to be huge. When this streaming service comes out, it's going to be massive nationwide. And I think it has the ability to take over Netflix. I think it will pass Netflix in the amount of people that subscribe to it. Because you have families who, not only that, but Disney they're going to start experimenting with this direct-to-consumer stuff with skipping the movie theaters, which has its own merits. We could talk about that at another time. This is bad for indie films.
Oh yeah.
This is bad for the streaming people who want all these things. And I don't know, man. I love all these movies. I'm not saying that. I'm still going to go see Disney films. I love these comic book films because they're good, and eventually they're going to have to tone them down a bit because eventually there's going to be a bubble that bursts. I don't think it will burst as bad as the Western has, Well, you just don't. We're lucky now
Right.
if we get a Western in a year.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's gonna.
I
I don't
think
think it's
sooner
gonna
or
be
later,
that.
sooner or later, the government's got to step in. I mean,
Well, they approved it.
that's so ridiculous. That'd be like Ford buying.
This is
That'd be
already
like
here.
Ford
So-
buying Chevy and Chevy and Toyota, and it's bad for the consumers.
It is. It's awful for the consumers, and they don't realize it because they want
No.
the Fantastic Four to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Gives a fuck about the Fantastic Four. They suck.
For people who
the
love
dumbest
cinema,
superheroes ever.
they're not though. This Fantastic Four are fantastic, pun intended. But for film lovers like us, it's even more important now for studios like A24 to come in and dominate this space, this indie space, because you're going to lose Fox Searchlight, maybe,
Which would suck.
That's the speculation. You're going to lose studios like Fox Searchlight, so that means like Focus Features is going to have to step up, A24, Annapurna, all these small studios are going to have to pony up money, and they're going to have to start financing these mid-budget movies. I think A24 can do it because their films are incredibly profitable. They're A24 hypes their movies up like no studio ever.
Right.
I mean, they called Hereditary like the Exorcist of this generation, and like that's brilliant. And the movie made a ton of money, and they probably shot it for $10. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I guess I really hadn't heard too much about that. I'll have to look more into that.
Yeah, it's a total entertainment world dominance here that Disney, I think, is going for, which is it has pros too. There's positives to come out of this as well. So yeah, one more thing. You've been texting me. I don't care about your food.
My food's cold, bro.
They make ovens and microwaves. Warm it up. You're gonna be fine.
Fuck.
The other thing I wanted to touch on. We got to talk about this Ethan Hawke thing because it has made waves online, and I think people are blowing this thing out of proportion. If you don't know what happened. We talked about this briefly before we started recording. Ethan Hawke was being interviewed about the film industry. And he said, it was just a general, this is a guy who's made a career out of small films, and he hasn't really delved into the big genre movies. I mean, he was in The Magnificent Seven a couple years ago or whatever. This is a quote from this article he did, and I can't remember the name of the publication, so I apologize that I'm not attributing this correctly, but the quote says, "We have the problem that they tell us Logan is a great movie. Well, it's a great superhero movie. It still involves people in tights with metal coming out of their hands. It's not Bresson, it's not Bergman, but they talk about it like it is." Max, I want to get your take on this. What do you think about what he had to say here?
I mean, I think it's incredibly stupid. I mean, I think that's, it's a trap that people fall into when they've been beaten. The superhero movies are interesting, they're action packed, they're everything movies should be, and to just, to say, well, they're not real movies, they're just superhero movies, I'm way more creative than you. Like, oh, I'm a vegan and I'm way better than you. Like, fuck you. So I should just have to go like your movie more because it's more indie and whatever, and I can't like Avengers. It's like the thing with the Fast and Furious. Like, okay, I get it, dumb movie, but I mean, if you're into just action and car chases, I mean that's you can enjoy it. I mean, these superhero movies also are way more evolved than they used to be. Infinity War is a very well written and directed and acted and shot movie. You look at a movie like Avatar that won all these awards and all that. And Infinity War is, not a direct comparison, but as far as the production value and that kind of stuff, I mean, these superhero movies are up there. They're not just these cheap movies with George Clooney.
I agree.
The production value is high. You've got A-list actors in it. You've got A-list directors, writers. I mean, for Ethan Hawke to say something like that, I mean, it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. I don't understand it. It's like the announcers, the old baseball players that, say that, oh, the bat flips or that's ruining the game and this and that. And no, that's not it at all. I just think those comments are stupid.
I agree with some of what you said, But here's where I'm going to agree, and I'm glad you feel that way, because we can actually have a little debate here. I'm kind of with him on this. I'm not so much with the art house snobby thing, particularly the comment where he says it's not Bresson, it's not Bergman. If you don't know who those people, Robert Bresson and Ingmar Bergman are two legendary auteur film directors. I like Ingmar Bergman stuff. I like The Seventh Seal. I like Persona, even though it's a really weird movie. Here's where I agree with him. Logan is a good example of this. I like the movie Logan. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch. It's a mature superhero story. It's not what he's describing. It's not the guys running around in tights. There's depth to Logan. Sure. Do I think it's overrated? Yes. Would I put it in my top 10 list? Fuck no. I don't think it's a top 10 movie. When I make a top 10 list at the end of the year, it more often than not does not have big blockbusters. Now, the exception to that was last year. I had Dunkirk was my favorite film of last year, and that is a blockbuster. But it's just a well-told story. So if Avengers Infinity War, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites of the year. It's not gonna. I can tell you right now, it's probably not going to make my top 10. Because if there are not like 3 or 4 movies that are better than Avengers Infinity War that come out the rest of the year, it was a bad year in movies. Here's my thing. I do think we don't value I don't think we value these indie films as much as we should. And I don't think people go see them as much as they should. But then they complain because there's no originality.
Right.
And the biggest thing I have with this Ethan Hawke stuff is you have all these fanboys. Well, he's just mad because he's not a good enough actor to be offered a role in one of these movies. I'm sure he's been offered tons of roles in these superhero movies. Ethan Hawke is a good actor. He is a fantastic actor. He has just made a career out of doing smaller films that don't have a wide audience, that he challenges himself.
So don't fucking cry about it then.
As an artist. He was asked a question, though, about what he thinks about these movies. And he answered it in the way that he answered it.
Yeah, I get that he likes making the small movies. That's fine. It's great. I agree. He's a fantastic actor. But don't shit on people that are going about their careers differently than you are.
I don't see it as shitting on people, though. I think he's not telling people that they can't like Avengers.
He's being pretentious.
He's just saying,
pretentious.
A little bit, sure. But he's saying, we're talking about these movies like they're the greatest movies of all time. Like it's true art. He doesn't think it's cinematic art. He thinks... I didn't read the rest of the article or know the rest of the quote. I would imagine he probably watches them. I'm sure he has... I think he has kids. I'm sure he's had to see these movies, and I'm sure he likes some of them.
Let me ask you a question, Riley, because you talk about that. Okay, what do you think has more cultural relevance, The Hangover or Schindler's List?
Well, it depends on... That's a contextual question.
Well, I agree, but...
Cultural relevance? For sure, Schindler's List.
How do you figure that? Nobody's going around making Schindler's List references.
It doesn't matter.
Talking about cultural relevance. Schindler's List is a better movie, but I guarantee 9 out of 10 people are going to pull up The Hangover to watch rather than Schindler's List. Schindler's List is a better movie, but just because it's a better movie doesn't mean that it has other intangibles that, you know what I mean? That like the superhero movies have. Yeah, Boyhood was a great movie, or a great movie, I get it, but I'm going to watch not that, you know?
Well, and I think this is why this podcast is going to be great, because I think this is where we differ. I would watch Boyhood again, but I also will watch Avengers Infinity War 35 times and speculate just like everybody else and then do all that. I don't see this as him saying, you can't like these movies because you're garbage if you like. He's not saying that. He was asked what he thinks about these movies and how they're populating the space. It's a general conversation about the blockbusters taking over cinema, which is fine. And the studio's got to make their money, and actors got to make their money. I have no problem. Like, you know, it used to be a faux pas when these actors would go do these big movies, and people would be like, "Well, blah blah blah. They're just doing it for the paycheck. They're doing it for the art."
But why are they? What makes them blockbusters? What's the one thing that makes them a blockbuster?
They make a fuck ton of money.
Because why?
And they cost a ton to make.
Why do they make a lot of money?
Because it cost a ton.
No. Why do they make a lot of money?
And they're popular.
Why?
Comic books have been
Why do they make a lot of money?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Because people go see them. Because people want to spend their money to see this movie. That's why they're blockbusters. So that's why I think it's stupid to say that. Because people want to see these movies clearly. So they're saying, "Oh, it's a big blockbuster. It's not taking away anything. That's what people want to see."
Okay, then don't complain. People that complain, I don't have a problem. Like I said, I go see these movies. I'm the first in line to go see a lot of these movies. I'm not arguing that they're culturally important films.
At the end of the day, it's like Democrats and Republicans. Okay, it doesn't have to be indie movie or superhero movies. You can go see Infinity War, and then you can go see Inside Llewyn Davis and like both of them. It doesn't have to be either or.
My whole problem with the reaction to this quote is that fandom and fan culture just thinks that Ethan Hawke is a pretentious. Maybe these comments do come off as pretentious, but again, I just don't see these. That's my issue. I don't see these comments as him saying you can't like what you like. I don't, and these fanboys do, but. Whatever, man. I mean, it was just an interesting.
Fanboys suck. I mean, they're all idiots.
I agree. Fandom is garbage. It's time for people to grow up. You got to grow up.
I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Like I'm a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan. I love Lord of the Rings. Like I've done all the googling and like I know everything about Lord of the Rings. But I'm not like online chat rooms just like, well, but like, what happened if Frodo like had feelings for Aragorn? What would happen there? And I don't know, maybe just erotic fan fiction is just the worst part of it. But just, it's just the fandom's like, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Like, stop calling yourselves the names of the people you like and like, oh, I'm part of the, I don't know, what's one of the Beliebers or whatever. Like, dude, just chill out. Stop being so weird. Like, just be a fan. Like, you can be a huge fan. Like, you can straight up nerd out. That's fine. But like, you get to the point where it's creepy,
I don't have an issue with that stuff as I do with just people being
dicks,
racist and
sexist, homophobic.
Yeah,
racist.
Exactly. Like this Kelly Marie Tran thing. It's like, why does it matter?
She played the role that was given to her.
Exactly.
Like, fuck off.
I like what she wrote, man. I like what she wrote in that article where she was like, I didn't quit Twitter because of these fanboys. I quit Twitter because you guys are a fucking joke, and I took a job. I just...
oh, yeah, I'm sure she's not, like, personally invested in Star Wars. Like, she's straight up getting paid.
Exactly. Well, and that's why I don't have a problem with these Ethan Hawke comments. Like, people are like, well, he's... And that's literally one of the comments I read on this article. Is like, well, he's probably never been offered one of these movies. I guarantee you he has been offered roles in these movies. None of the movies he has made have made over $100 million at the domestic box office. That's a career strategy. And then you have somebody like, and then like people just get shit on. I mean, they used to get shit on. Now they don't anymore. Now once you make it big in an indie film, it's like you have to do one of these superhero films. But like, I don't know, man. I just think Ethan Hawke is a guy that has made a great career. He's been in a lot of great movies, been in a lot of garbage. First Reformed came out this year. It's not a good movie. It's really boring.
Right.
But he challenges himself, and that's what I appreciate about Ethan Hawke. And that's what I appreciate about these comments is he's not afraid to say this. He doesn't give a shit what other people think of his movies. He has a select, group of movies that are a group of people that see his films. And like I said, he was just asked a question. So I guess the overall arching point, not to be redundant, but I'm just trying to make here is, why is this a big deal? Why is this a big deal that he said this? Because fanboys are fanboys?
I'm sure they're just framing it, They want to get reactions for that.
Oh, Ethan Hawke? I don't think so. I think he just was asked a question, and I think he answered it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a big problem with it, I guess. Ultimately.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's an interesting... I just think we're living in interesting times now in the movie culture where people just fucking have to be so confrontational when it comes to all these movies and just like, I like this, well, this happened, blah, blah, blah. There was I love Collider I love the video Collider video and the Collider.com.
Yeah.
Well, Collider.com's fine. I love Collider. Okay, I love it to death. There's a lot of great stuff on Collider. I love the personalities on Collider. There was a movie, a show that they did over the weekend, where the title of the video was "Is it okay to dislike Avengers: Infinity War?" Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
No, it's not okay. But we live in this culture now where people feel like if they dislike a popular movie that other people like, or vice versa, you're ostracized.
It's like how,
and you're called a douche or whatever.
You get those idiots that think Titanic's not a good movie. Like, I get it.
It isn't.
Fuck off. So
it isn't a good movie.
Here's the deal. My food is really cold, but on the last note here, you're talking about people think that it's not okay to do this or that. Okay, I will read you a headline that I saw today that made me contemplate how to get off this earth. The headline was, "What do we do about temperature sexism?"
Excuse me?
Semicolon, how can room temperatures be sexist?
All right, well, that's it for the show.
It was literally an article about how some, Republican senator was keeping the room too cold, so it was a disadvantage for the woman he was debating. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Unbelievable.
Oh, well, I think this is a pretty solid episode.
Yeah, man, we got kind of deep at the end.
Yeah, we did. We got
a little debate in.
Yeah, dove into the Coca-Cola, and I'm making sure I go see some movies next week, so I'll have some more movies to talk about that I've seen, and finally get back on the horse there.
I did want to bring one other quick thing up.
We got,
and that is, in my ever continuing quest to watch the AFI Top 100, just to see, if these films are actually something that still holds up today. I watched Bringing Up Baby the other day. Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. What a good fucking film. Watch this movie. It's so great. Literally, the plot of the movie is Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn have to take care of a leopard.
What?
It's fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. It was one of the most enjoyable films I've seen. It is now one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so funny.
Bringing Up Baby.
Anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it. We
check us out on Facebook, Real Takes. We got an email, realtakesmovies@gmail.com. I believe that's the address.
Real Takes Inbox.
Real Takes Inbox. I knew we got we got a solid 10-15 people that are listening to the podcast, so we appreciate it. We're hoping to have some guests on here in the future. We have some people that are willing to throw down and discuss their criticisms of some of our top 5 picks, and we're hoping to do another top 5 episode here in the near future. Hopefully next week we'll do some box office hits that we thought were bad, some movies that were reviewed really highly that we thought were terrible, vice versa. So we try to mix it up, do another top 5 list, because it seems like that creates a lot of controversy and people like that arguing over what their top 5 picks are and stuff. So hopefully we'll be bringing you that next week. Riley's Twitter's @RileyGranson27.
My Twitter is just @RileyGranson.
@RileyGranson. I'm @Max.
Yeah, and then real quick, keep an eye out for more reviews. I'm going to try to do more reviews. I'm going to be out of town this weekend, but we have the ways of recording and putting up reviews and things like that. And I'll have my computer with me, so go check out realtakes.com. I've got 2 new reviews up there. Obviously, Happy Time Murders, and then Operation Finale, which I saw earlier today. So definitely go check that stuff out. But like I said, keep an eye out for those reviews, because I'm going to keep posting on. Hopefully Max and I can maybe record one together here in the near future if we ever get on the same page with seeing the same movies.
Yeah, no shit. But hopefully I'll get some finish Silence, see Black Klansman, see some other stuff coming out, so she'd have some new ammo there as well.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Facebook, we plug Facebook, got our Twitter out there. Share our videos. If you have friends that love movies, throw up a share. Share YouTube videos.
Let Coca-Cola know we're free agents.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for a producer.
Maybe LeVar Ball needs some announcers for his Ballin' League or whatever the fuck he does now.
I'm good. I'd rather drink LaCroix than do anything for LeVar Ball.
Lacroix?
Just kidding. I'm sure he's a decent guy.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
That booby spin.
Yeah, so that's him. Like that is.
That's
he is
totally
that guy,
him.
I feel like.
Oh yeah.
He's Booby Miles. And he's got 3. Yeah, we're not even gonna go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I think Max plugged everything. This was a fun show. Yeah, man. That's gonna be it, and we'll see you guys next week or sooner. So
everybody,
have a good weekend,
take care.
Guys.
Have a good week.
But